How is it that 3 years is the over-under magic number for staff and likely the same for clients? Understanding this difference can alter the adherence and retention for your practice dramatically. Stay tuned.
This is The Rare Advisor, proud to be a part of the Advisor Advancement Network and home of a business model supercharged by recurring and repeatable events. Your host is Mike Walters, CEO of USA Financial. He is an investment advisor representative of and securities are offered through USA Financial Securities, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, welcome back to The Rare Advisor. Today, I want to talk about a really interesting article. This article is from Inc. magazine, and the importance of the article has nothing to do with the title. But the title of the article, if you want to go look at it, is Inc. Again, it's Inc. magazine. It's their online feature, and it's nearly 75% of businesses report they're bringing employees back to the office. So that's the title of the article if you want to look it up. Nearly 75% of businesses report they're bringing employees back to the office. But that's not what I found so interesting. What I found interesting is that they have identified that there is an over-under number. It's 3 years. It's the magic number, it appears. What they said, in fact, this is an exact quote, we're actually seeing that employees that spend more than 4 years at the same company are more inclined to want to come back. Newer employees who have worked at the company less than 3 years seem to prefer to work from home. Think about that. They're saying if your employees have been with you for 4 years or more, they want to come back to the office. If your employees have been with you for 3 years or less, they probably would prefer to work at home. Why would that be? Now, prior to all of this, the numbers you normally hear is that an older employee base tends to appreciate the typical work environment. They want to be in a centralized location. They want to be in an office. Whereas younger workers who are a little more digitally inclined, they might prefer to have remote work. Now, obviously, there's hybrids and everything else, and we've embraced this at USA Financial. We are very liberal with our hybrid solution for people to work remote as well as work in our facilities. Now, my personal preference, I would love them to all be in the facilities because that's where the culture comes from. It's hard to build culture remote when you're sitting in a spare room or your den or your office or your basement or whatever you've converted into your at-home work environment. I'm here right now. I'm in my at-home work environment. So I embrace it. I use it, but I'm very sensitive to developing and learning more. And I got a long way to go too, but learning more about how to build the culture in this new remote world. But what's really, really interesting is there's this over-under number now. It's 3 years. If I've got the employees over 3 years, they're more inclined to want to be part of the culture. If I've got the employees under 3 years, they're less inclined to be part of the culture. People have to develop those relationships, and it takes time. Now, maybe as we get more and more remote, that over-under number might escalate on average higher, but it's my job as an entrepreneur, as the owner of my financial advisory practice, I need to bring that culture curve down, right? So what does this mean? It means I need to be creating interactive alternatives. Whether they're remote or whether they're live, I need to pull people together. I need to try to communicate in ways that keeps people in the loop on a regular basis. I need to try to break through just the written memo. I love the interaction of things like this video that we're doing right now. This technology is super helpful in business. I need to utilize this in every way I can, not just with my staff, but with my clients too. Because you know what? Gotta imagine the over-under on clients is very similar. When you bring a new client onto the firm and you go through the first appointment process or the onboarding process and those initial appointments in that protocol, they're getting adhered to you. If you then just let them walk away and you don't continue that interaction, they're going to soften very quickly. You're going to lose some of that momentum, some of that mojo you've created in the beginning is going to wane relatively quickly. But I also would bet that when you go through your client base, once clients hit a certain tipping point, they're adhered to you for life. We know they're sticking around. Where is that number? Is it the same over under? Is the 3 year the same over under? I bet it's pretty close. If I get them past 3 years, I probably have them for life. If I don't get them past 3 years, that's when they're most apt to leave. That's when they're most at risk for me as a financial advisor. So what do I need to do in those beginning days to continually have things happening that are maybe new and unique and interesting and different for a client during those first 3 years before I get them into the long-term mainstream and then do other things for clients in the long run? I need to build my culture, not just with my staff, but with my clients. And this over-under number is pretty valuable to understand and to know, right? I have to get these folks to adhere to my business and my practice more rapidly. That's the key. If I stress that, if I understand, and even if I'm wrong, but I treat it as if I'm right, and I use that 3 year as my over-under, only good things can happen, right? What I'm doing is I'm saying I need to focus on those first 3 years. I need to do some things that get those people adhered to the business, whether they're staff, whether they're clients, or anything else. I need to get them adhered to the business. Longer term, I'll have them kind of more used to it. We're family now, right? They know us. They're comfortable with us, and it's not maybe so much getting them over the hump as it is now keeping them in the loop. And so it's not that once they get over that number of 3 years that there's something less that should happen, but I am saying there's something different that probably needs to happen during the first 3 years. Think about it. 3 years, magic number, it's your over-under.